Hey everybody, you're watching Cole the Cornstar. Hi Anna. Alright little sprinkler, time to get moved again. That's just incredibly satisfying. Got a little bit damp out last night, so we need to wait for the beans to dry out before we can get to combining. And that is okay because we still have a couple semis that we need to get ready. Dude, what are you doing? What are you doing?
You know how many times you go round and around in there going down the road?
Dad, why'd you ruin so many tires? I think we ordered 12 new tires to put on our semis this year, and apparently we need to go get one more. To the tire shop we go. Hey, I'd call this some high quality service. We just pulled up, backed up, and he was already here.
That was quick. I mean, boom, we pulled up there, they loaded us quick, and we're out of here.
You know what we need, Dad?
What's that?
We need a clapper. Then the door would open. Ugh. That truck got a good used rim on it. The old one was completely cracked around where the bolts go through. But now we're gonna pull that red semi in because that has a couple tires that need to be changed. So on old red here, we have a tire on the inside that is off the bead, and actually this tire is smaller than that tire. So first things first, these two tires are both pretty bald, meaning there's not a lot of groove left in them. The grooves are important because it allows water to disperse under the tire, because if it's just a smooth surface, water can get under there, and then we can be at a higher risk of hydroplaning, and that is not what we want. And then secondly, this tire was bigger than this one, so it's causing this one to wear funny. We can notice the inside is basically completely bald, and then the outside still has some traction on it. So that means it was sitting sideways. Now the reason why it was like that is because it was basically a temporary fix that turned into a permanent fix. Or as Dad would call it,
a temporary permanent fix.
Just for comparison, these are what the new ones are gonna look like. Old, new. Oh hey, it's like we were in town just a few minutes ago. Do you wanna give the good news or the bad news?
Bad news is they don't have the exact kind of mirror that we want, but the good news is I think we'll be able to revamp it.
Yeah, the matching mirror for this old guy was 400 bucks. No, thank you. Looks like while Dad and I were off getting that mirror, Cooper started combining and he's full. We have officially harvested our first 1,000 bushels of soybeans. Brum. He's full. Cooper traded me spots because he wants to go work on those cement tires, so we're gonna keep combining. Well, here we go. First pass across the field, we are doing 3.7 miles an hour. Looks like these beans are yielding about 55 bushels an acre at 13% moisture. I got my little viewing window behind me so I can look back and I can see if I have a dirty sample or not. If I'm getting a lot of trash in the tank, meaning foreign materials like plant matter and stuff, then I might have to make some adjustments when it comes to how the combine's separating things out, but right now it looks to be all right. Bag leader on track 3 is working phenomenally right now. I don't have to do any steering. It's just synced up to this, and we have auto steer across the field. We're coming up to an area right now that earlier this spring, the creek came out and it flooded this spot, so it brought in a bunch of corn residue. That's why we have a little bit of volunteer corn growing right here. We're gonna gnaw through it, but we're gonna go pretty slow. When stuff is dry, it goes through the combine pretty good, but you get some green in there, you can plug a machine pretty quickly.
Better make sure the doors are closed underneath the trailer. This will be the first load this semi's hauled this year, so I gotta get to remember how to shift it, how to grind the gears if you can't find them.
Now, unfortunately, for whatever reason, we can't seem to get our Wi-Fi to kick on in that tractor, so we're not able to run our new auto steer in the grain cart yet. I'm sure it's something we're doing wrong. We put an auger on our combine this past year that was 2 feet longer than the old one, and I'm really glad we did, because otherwise we would probably have a hard time getting over that new grain cart. That thing is tall.
We're not pushing this cart by all means, but you can unload 1,000 bushels less than 2 minutes.
So we're coming up on a spot here that got really wet this spring, and it basically killed off the beans that were in it, but then a bunch of water hemp grew. For those of you who don't know anything about water hemp, there's about 10,000 little seeds per plant. We're coming up into a patch of like 10,000 here. This stuff can plug us up super bad, and I don't want that. And I also don't want to broadcast these seeds all over the field. So we're just gonna lift up through this. Silly weeds. About every area kind of has a problem weed. Ours is water hemp. As I'm combining along, I'm looking for foreign objects out in the field like rocks or a basketball or the neighbor's trampoline. All of those things could be bad if I ran them through the combine. So I need to keep my eye out. And right now, since we haven't had a frost yet, I have to keep my eye out for green spots. I'm actually in a little bit of a green spot right now. It looks pretty brown, but in a couple patches here and there, we got some beans that are still a little green. About the best way I can describe running through green beans is like mowing the thickest part of your lawn right after it just rained a bunch. Your lawnmower just does not like it. So when I hit those areas, I slow way down so I give the machine plenty of time to process it. And also in general, I'm going basically anywhere from 3 to 3.5 miles an hour. This is considered a class 5 or a class 6 combine, so it's not the biggest combine in the world. So by no means do I have unlimited power with this combine. I do have to keep an eye on the conditions that I'm in and the speed that I'm going. And I'm also listening to the machine to see if it's making any funny noises or if it's kind of bogging down. And I know I'm gonna get a lot telling me I have a potential collision because the grain car was close to me. That's kind of neat.
The very first load I took in, and the only load I've taken in so far out of the 2020 crop, was 12%. We're just got kind of a field ready, so it ain't nothing big, but we thought if it's dry, let's go ahead and get it out. And then we're gonna have to look, it might be a few days before we have anything else ready, but if something's ready, even though it's a small field, might as well get it out of the way. But I gotta go get a drink of water because I'm dying of thirstivation. When the thirst buds need water, you gotta give them water. One thing a guy wants to make a habit of, and it's something I'm sure you all think about, it's always kind of good as you walk by your tires on your vehicles, trailers, kind of look at them, knock on them, make sure they're full of air. Something to think about, you know, when you're like in the mall, and I'm trying to talk as I'm getting in the semi. You can tell I'm not very good at it.
I just saw smoke coming out from down there. There's something stuck somewhere. Oh yeah. Smells like burning rubber. There's a belt in here that runs the sickle, and I think something's caught up in my sickle because it looks like I was dragging through the ground here maybe a little bit. I'm betting I got something caught in here. Something like this piece of metal. See, the way this works is the beans go in through here, and then this sickle goes back and forth, and it cuts them off, and then they fall into the head. Whoa, that would have hurt. That piece is broken, and I'm gonna have to fix it, but I'm gonna keep going here for just a few more minutes because the co-op closes in 30 minutes, so we'd like to get one more semi in there. So we'll be okay for a few minutes running it that way. I got lucky. I hit the stop just as I pulled a log and it disappeared under the auger. Lucky for us, we can do the old backer up.
My job's pretty hard today. Let me tell you about how hard it is. I just kind of stand around, lean back, move my head around. I just wait for some beans to come. We're in a, like I said, it's kind of a little smaller field, a lot of turnaround. And beans, it takes a while to get a load. Me and Cooper, when Cole's out combining, we've been running up the shop, changing some tires around and things like that. Here he comes. Now I gotta be paying attention because that big black thing coming up behind me, boom! Don't want it to hit me in the head. That looks like my shower when I take a shower at night. Boom, the old water pressure. I wouldn't even have to use a face cloth if I had that much pressure. It'd peel the skin right off of me. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Hopefully it's not too damp yet. I'm stopping on the way back home to check a bean field out that, oh, it looks so close. But now I'm worried the dew's starting to set in. So will I be able to get a true test or not? Yeah, I'm a professional. Boy, they actually feel pretty good. Man, I might be crazier than a bunny going backwards, but these almost feel like I think they might go tomorrow.
Once the sun went down, we got chased out of the field pretty quick. The dew started to set in, and then it just started doing the wet grass lawnmower thing, and that cutting worth a hoot. So we had to call it a night. Looks like Dad and Cooper got this semi ready to go. Did you have any eventful events?
No, it was a pretty quiet day. Actually, it went really smooth. I can't think of nothing that went wrong. Didn't leave a hopper open, didn't spill nothing, so no.
Yeah, what was up with that? Normally we spill something at least within the first 15 minutes.
Well, the co-op opened and closed the doors today, so.
Since we had some pretty severe bin damage from the derecho, we're not storing any of our beans on our farm. We're bringing everything to the co-op. Honestly, it's kind of nice because we don't have to mess with any augers or anything. The only disadvantage is we're not able to capture the carry in the market, but we're working with the tools that we have. You want to say the final words?
Hey, guys, don't forget to hit the like button for me. And don't forget to subscribe. We need to get these numbers up to like 500,000. Wouldn't that be awesome?
All right, guys. We'll see you in the next one.